Hooty hoo! Good morning! What's up, babies? Welcome into a Wednesday morning. It's Tony Curry. It's a hump day, a big day here on Tony Curry Radio. I'm going to talk about gasoline here in a second. I'm going to say some things about the gasoline crisis we're going through in this country, and you're probably not going to like it, but maybe I could put some sense into you just because we're doing this Russian thing where we're cutting off all their energy coming over to this country. We'll talk about that in a second. Also, we got a couple special birthdays we'll talk about. And also a huge announcement about one of our great business partnerships with Workplay. Workplay downtown is reopening Friday night. Woohoo! First time in over 2 years. Talked to Tommy Williams yesterday, and they got a great show coming up on Friday. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes right here on Tony Curry Live. Download that Tony Curry Radio app. Tony Curry with a K. Tony Curry with a Curry. Smart. Tony Curry app. Download that bad boy at the Apple Store, the Android Store. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Al Cooper, good morning to you, brother. And you'll absolutely love it. It's great classic rock and roll, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Today is Wednesday, which means my good friend Michael Coleman will join me from the Jimmy Hill Mission. We do a show about non-for-profits, and this is a show that's going to go on for a year. We're signed up for a year, and it gets better and better every single week. I co-host the show with Michael. Sweetheart of a guy, salt of the earth guy. He's one of those guys where you talk to him for like a half hour, you feel smarter for being around. But you love people when you get around people and you just listen, you feel smarter for being around them. I don't know if I'm sponging anything. I don't know if I'm learning anything from just being around this guy. I feel smarter. He's fantastic. Called Mission Mind to keep your mind, your mission on your mind. That show goes off at noon and 7 today. And then later on tonight, live show. We're going to be doing our Livewire Wednesday show brought to you by Southern Precision Staffing for all your staffing needs, construction, otherwise. Kai Greger and his staff, man, they're ready for you. They're right here in Hoover, Alabama, like Tony Curry Radio is, but they serve the United States of America, just like Tony Curry Radio does. Of course, we also serve people internationally. They don't do that. Where your word and your handshake still means something, Southern Precision Staffing for all your staffing needs. They sponsor Livewire Wednesday. It's a full hour of all AC/DC. We had last 46,000 people listening just in Sydney, Australia. Last Wednesday night, we're the official fan club of Angus Young and AC/DC. It's a full hour of great AC/DC. It's great. Sam Rushing, good morning to you, my brother. So we'll get into this Workplay thing. I want to talk about the gasoline thing, though, real quick. My kid is 17, and he just got himself a car a couple weeks ago. And, of course, I pay for his car payment and his insurance, and so he's got to take care of everything else. And he is bitching and moaning about the gasoline prices. I said, listen, let's break this down, man. And I know people hate to do this. Whenever you sit there and say, how can we save money? You talk about cutting out, the Starbucks or maybe the fast food or whatever you're doing. You can save money. People hate that. They like to save a lot of money right now. They don't like to save it's like losing weight. No one wants to lose 2 pounds a week. They want to lose like 25 pounds by like Thursday. It doesn't happen that way. But if you lose 2 or 3 pounds a week, and then over the course of a couple months, you're looking pretty good. You can see the end of your wiener again, and you're a happy camper, right? But we want to lose everything right now. We want to fix it right now. So when the gasoline crisis, and it's coming, not to say it's not already here. Good morning to you, Shannon Harris. It's already here. So I was doing a little math. And so when it was like $3.29 a gallon and it went up to $3.39 a gallon, I was like, okay, that's a lot, 10 cents. We're not used to seeing gasoline go up 10 cents a gallon. But I'm thinking, my Odyssey, I'm in a minivan, right? Quite the catch. 56-year-old man, single man in a minivan. Ladies, stay back. Buddy Little, good morning to you. But you're talking an extra $1.80 to fill up, okay? Now, you're saying, well, Tony, it's gone up $1. Now it's $4.19 a gallon. It's $4.19 a gallon up the street. It was $3.19 a week ago, or a week and a half ago. So, okay, so it's $1 more a gallon, right? So again, I got an 18-gallon tank, so it's costing me $18 more to fill my car up with this gasoline issue. And it's probably going to go up to, I'm expecting it to go like to $4.90 or $4.80, something like that, I think is what they're saying down here in the South. My point is when you break it down, your average Joe, now listen, if you're in the service industry and you're driving around, you have a service industry, and that's all you do is you deliver crap, right? I feel for you. Because if you got freight, or you've got trucks, or you got 15 of these vans, you're delivering flowers, or your Uber, whatever, I feel for you because I know it's going to be hard. I know you're going to be passing those costs off to us, and I get that. I feel for you. But for your average Joe in this country, when you do your taxes, the average mileage is 15,000 miles a year, which averages out somewhere between 150 to 200 miles a week. It's funny, I went by to pick my kid up yesterday at school, and I saw 75,000 cars in the carpool at 2:15 to pick their kids up at 3, and they're all running their engines, and they're bitching about the gas. You're sitting there in the carpool at Oak Mountain for 45 minutes on your phone while your gas, your smoke is going out, you're smoking your cigarettes, you're having and you're bitching about the gasoline. Turn your damn engine off, man. And why the hell are you getting to school 45 minutes early? Because you're in my way. Anyway, so it comes out basically to about 150 to 200 miles a week. And assuming you're getting 20 miles a gallon, and everyone gets 20 miles a gallon these days, you're talking an extra 10 to 12 bucks a week. Now, sounds like a lot. Tony, that's $560 a year. But I mean, if you're talking an extra $10 to $12 a week, it ain't really that big of a deal. You could find $10 or $12 in your cushions. And again, I'm just talking about your average Joe. If you're in an industry where you're driving all the time and you're putting on 1,000 miles a week, you drive a trucking company, so I feel for you, man. I get it. But while the rest of us are taking our kids to practice, or we're running to the grocery store, or we're going to church, or we're doing whatever we normally do, we're only talking an average about 10 to 12 bucks a week. Here's the other thing I want you to try. Andy Moore, good morning to you. And again, I feel for you, man. I'm on a budget too. It sucks. I mean, we're used to filling up the car for like somewhere between $40 and $45 a fill up, and now it's cost us like $60-something a fill up because how much has changed the last couple of years. The problem is we're not used to seeing those numbers get that high, and so we stop early. And so what's happening is we're not filling up when we go to the gas station. We're filling up halfway. Or if you're one of those schmucks that just goes in and says, here, give me $20 worth, you get enough just to get down to the end of the block and back, right? So fill up your tank every time you go. And if you fill up your tank every time you go, the average schmo is going to make it about a week and a half to 2 weeks, and you're good to go. First of all, you're going to be getting gasoline a hell of a lot cheaper because you know gasoline ain't going down in price anytime soon. So when you go get gasoline, fill up, take the hit, put the $75 in, and go. Second of all, because we're getting the gas station more, and I'm as guilty too. I sit there and see 40 bucks and I go, the hell with that. I'm done with 40 bucks. I pull the tank, I go, and I realize I only filled up. You're going to the gas station more. So as opposed to going once every week and a half to 2 weeks, now we're going 3 or 4 times. And so it feels like we're buying a hell of a lot more gasoline than we really are. Does that make any sense at all? It's really not. Listen, I know it hurts, it sucks, but it really ain't that big of a deal. You're going to go get a $7 coffee this morning and you're bitching about spending an extra $10 a week in gasoline. And we're going to be saving a bunch of Ukrainian lives by beating the shit out of these Russians by taking all their oil and saying, you can have it, you can keep it. Okay? And I'm an environmentalist. I'm all about the Keystone thing, and I'm all about, getting oil and all this stuff all over right here. Save the spotted owl. Anyway, just something to think about. Don't bitch and moan about the gasoline. Every time I think about, oh my gosh, it's $4.19 a gallon, I think about that little girl singing Let It Go over in Ukraine. I'm like, I'm good. I'll pay the gas. $5 a gallon, no problem. I'm good. All right, big time show coming up this Friday night. Roddy Moore, good morning, Roddy. Workplay is reopening. Woohoo! Listen, I love Workplay. Tommy Williams has been a good friend of mine, Courtney and his lovely daughter, Grace. They're wonderful people. I've known Tommy for years and years and years. He has helped out with the Bright House Foundation. We've had functions down there. We did the Kurre and Claypo come together down there a couple years ago. We want to do, whenever I want to do a special event, and now that things are reopening again, we're going to be doing some special stuff down there. It's one of the best places in Birmingham to have any type of event. I know it's where you are the rock star. There's office space available down there. They have happy hour down there, which hopefully will reopen in full force over the next few weeks. But it's great to have acts back down there tonight. And what a great way to start this Friday night. Coming up here March 12th is going to be Matthew Mayfield. He starts at 8 o'clock. Of course, Matthew is a Birmingham native, does acoustic and classic rock stuff. He's fantastic. And then John Paul White is going to be playing down there at Workplay at 9 o'clock this Friday night. Again, doors open at 7 o'clock, but I bet you if you meander down there around 5 or 6, they're going to let you in, hit the bar, have a couple of pops, and get ready for a great night of entertainment. Matthew Mayfield, 8 o'clock. John Paul White, you may remember him from Civil War, Grammy Award winner. A Grammy Award winner is going to be at Workplay this Friday night with John Paul White. Get your tickets at ticketsatworkplay.com. Tickets at workplay.com, tickets at workplay.com, or go to workplay.com for all the scheduled events. And Tommy is super excited about reopening Workplay. That's his baby. They used to have happy hour every single day at 4 o'clock. I think they will start reopening that as we get a little deeper into this, but this was a big thing to reopen Workplay, and we're super happy. Again, Matthew Mayfield and John Paul White this Friday, March 2nd. Go down there to Workplay and check your tickets out at tickets@workplay.com. Tickets@workplay.com. It's fantastic. Couple birthdays here. I want to wish my good friend Mike Leach, head coach of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Of course, I've been in touch with Mike now for like the last 10 or 15 years. I texted him this morning, and he's like, thanks, Tone. Where you been? I ain't talked to you in a while. He turned 61 today. I love Mike Leach. His offense is starting to work a little bit there in the SEC. A lot of people said that offense ain't going to work here. That air raid crap ain't going to work. It is a little bit. Happy birthday to Mike Leach. And also Steve Wilkos. You know who Steve Wilkos is? Steve was in the Armed Forces. Thanks for your service, Steve. And he worked for Jerry Springer. Now, I knew Jerry Springer when he was the mayor of Cincinnati. I lived up there in the mayor of Cincinnati, and then he went through that whole thing over in Kentucky with the prostitute, blah, 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 blah. We know what happened to Jerry. Now he's got his own judge show. But Steve Wilkos was the director of security for Jerry Springer, and then Steve started his own show, I can't believe this, back in 2007. So it's been 15 years. So we were doing this thing at the World of Wheels. I do all the voice work for the World of Wheels. I did until a couple years ago. And they had the Texas bikini team in town. And I got with Sonny McLean, who's a good friend of mine, who runs the World of Wheels up in Chattanooga here in Birmingham. And we had this brilliant idea of win a date with a Texas bikini team. Oh, the girlfriend loved that. She loved that idea. God bless the old girls I used to go out with. They put up with a lot of crap of mine. Anyway, so we would take the entire Texas bikini team out to dinner, and we would get a winner on the radio station when I was at Classic Rock, then at 9. And then some people from the World of Wheels who were in town that week would come with us. So we went down to Southside, and of course, I would say, listen, if we're going out with a Texas bikini team, it'd be nice if the Texas bikini team would wear their bikinis at dinner because they are the bikini team, right? And so they would show up at dinner. There'd be like 8 or 9 of them in bikinis. They were rocking. And then I would be there, and I'd bring a buddy with me, and then we would get a winner. And every time, we did this for like 3 years straight. Every time we did this, the winner had to leave early. Like his wife or his girlfriend would get pissed off, and she's like, and I don't know if these winners were telling him, yeah, I'm going out to have dinner with Tony Curry, no big deal. And then she found out that he was hanging out with the Texas bikini team. But the winner would always leave. But anyway, the last year we did it, Steve Wilkos was in town as a celebrity. You know, they do the whole, cars and stars and stuff. And so Steve showed up with his cousin. And his cousin was rocking. And Steve was a hell of a nice guy. I think this was 2000. I think it was 2007 or 2008. And so we were happy to have a celebrity with us, and Steve was signing autographs to the World of Wheels again. And so he introduced us to his cousin, and halfway through a salad, Steve's making out with his cousin. And I was like, wow, you people are like Alabama folks. You guys are really, really friendly with each other. Maybe it's like a third cousin or something. It doesn't count. Anyway, Steve was married at the time. Sorry, Steve. Steve's done pretty well, though. You can see Steve's show. If you go all the way down to like number 1 or number 2 on your cable, you'll see the Steve Wilkos show, and it's still going. So happy birthday to Steve. He turns 58 today. All right, fill up when you go to the gas station. Drop the $70, $75 and get after it. If you drive an SUV, which you're dumbass and got something that only gets 13 miles a gallon, now it's time to pay the piper. Fill it up so you don't have to fill up like 4 or 5 times a week. You don't have to go to the gas station. That way you don't feel like you're getting more gasoline. And bite the bullet and think about our Ukrainian friends while you're doing it. And I promise you, we're going to get through it. I know it sucks. And again, if you're in the service industry where you're getting gasoline and you have to buy like 10 or 15,000 gallons of gasoline every single week, I feel for you. The rest of us, stop bitching about it. Ain't no big deal. All right, love you. Don't forget, Mission Minded today, noon and 7, and also 8 o'clock tonight. We're doing Livewire Wednesday. And also, don't forget, I sent out a couple of links yesterday for the Damon Johnson show and Blues Almighty with Austin Hanks. I think Austin's got Billy Gibbons on his show tomorrow. Billy Gibbons is on Tony Curry Radio all the time. Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top is on my radio station exclusively all the time. It's great. Listen to him. He's unmistakable. It's fantastic. Great Blues show. But go to Spotify, search Tony Curry Radio. That's Curry with a K, Tony Curry Radio. And look at all of our podcasts. We got over 100 shows. We got Adapter Parish. We have Dark Side of the Pooch. We have Mission Minded. We have When in Rome. We have the Classic Hip Hop Show. We have the Damon Johnson Show. We have the Austin Hanks Show. We got Tony Curry Live. We got the Curry and Claypool Show. It's fantastic. You watch all the shows as often as you want. Have yourself a wonderful day. I love you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning right here on Tony Curry Radio.